Two men, a motorcycle, a gun pointed at my face. This morning, before 9 a.m., before I even had breakfast. I want to tell you about it exactly how it happened because I think the most honest thing I can give you right now is the confusion. Not a clean story, not a lesson wrapped in a bow, just what it actually felt like to have your morning split in half. This morning, it was a completely normal morning. I was walking out of my building to get into my Uber. I had a doctor's appointment. They were taking out the stitches from my last surgery. So my biggest concern walking out the door was I hope this doesn't hurt. That's it. That was the size of my problems 30 seconds before everything changed. Two guys pull up on a motorcycle. And before I even fully register what's happening, there's a gun pointing at me. And one of them says it clearly. This is a robbery. Hand over everything you have. Here's the part I still don't fully understand, and I'm not going to pretend I do it for the sake of a tidy story. I looked them in the eyes, I hand over my phone, and something, I don't know how else to describe it, something clicked for them. One of them said, no, we're not doing this, and they just left. I don't know what they saw in my face. I don't know if it was something about me or something about them or just pure chance that put me in a one version of this where I walk away. Because that's the thing nobody tells you about almost. Almost doesn't feel like relief. It feels like static. I was shaking. My heart was going so fast I could feel it in my throat. And I still had to get into that car and go sit in a doctor's chair like nothing had happened. I got in the Uber. The driver had no idea. The world had no idea. I was just the guy in the backseat shaking on his way to get stitches removed. 30 seconds removed from a gun being pointed at his face. And the whole ride there, I kept thinking about one thing. I wasn't thinking about myself anymore. I was thinking about whoever those two men found next. Because here's what I know. They didn't stop. People like that just don't go home because one encounter didn't go their way. They moved on. They found someone else. Somewhere out there this morning, someone else had their version of my 30 seconds and maybe theirs didn't end with no, we're not doing this. I got to keep my phone, my watch, my morning. Somebody else probably didn't. I haven't told you something yet. The last time I felt that specific kind of fear, that exact freeze, that exact paralysis, I was 9 years old, still live here in Brazil before everything, before traveling, before any of the life I've built since. And that's the part that's been sitting with me all day. It's not really about this morning. This morning just opened a door that's been closed for almost 2 decades. I built an entire life, 20 plus countries, a whole identity around being someone who moves freely through the world, and in 3 seconds I was 9 years old again. In my body, in this country, feeling exactly as powerless as I did back then. That's what I mean when I say I don't feel safe in Brazil anymore. It is not abstract. It's not a headline I read. It is a feeling that lives in my body, and apparently it never fully left. It was just waiting for the right 3 seconds to come back. I'm not going to pretend I have a conclusion for you. I don't think this is a video where I figure it out by the end and hand you a lesson. What I keep coming back to is just how thin the line is. I walked out my door this morning thinking about stitches. That's all I was thinking about. And in the time it takes to read this sentence, my entire morning, maybe my entire life, could have gone a completely different direction. Not because of anything I did, not because of some decision I made, just because two strangers on a motorcycle decided in real time whether today was the day something happened to me. Everything can change in seconds. I know that's something people say. I've said it myself, probably in some other video about some other thing, but I don't think I actually knew it until this morning. Knowing it and feeling it in your chest while your hands are still shaking are two completely different things. So a couple of hours later, the police came by my building. They asked me to come downstairs so I could tell them what had happened this morning. And I was also able to gather the CCTV footage so they could maybe try and identify those two people the motorcycle plate. And I was shocked when I learned that I wasn't the only victim. They were being already tracked down by the actions that they have been doing already. So it wasn't like I was the first victim. They also did a lot of other terrible stuff, which I'm not gonna mention here, but pretty crazy stuff. And I just wish that we could feel safe, whether it's Brazil, whether it's anywhere in the world. But I don't know if we are ever going to feel safe, judging by the way that the world is going towards to right now. And I know that to a lot of people, it may sound like, oh, this is Brazil. This is what usually goes down in Brazil. This is Brazil. You're used to it. But no, I have experienced stuff like this in New York City, in Miami, in London, in Rome. So it's not exclusive to South America. It's not exclusive to Brazil. All of the world right now are going through a dark phase where I don't fully understand, and I don't think we're going to recover, at least not as fast as I wish we could. But I don't. So honestly, I don't really know how to close this one. I'm still in it. I'm still processing it. I'm still somewhere between I'm fine and I don't know if I'm fine. To be honest, I'm glad that nothing happened to me. I'm really glad that I was able to keep my stuff, but I couldn't, I can't stop thinking about that 3 seconds where I felt that I had no power whatsoever over my own life. And that is life changing. Because how can you move on? How can you still carry on to do stuff that you're supposed to when you just went through a situation like that? So for anyone that is out there watching, I hope you stay safe. I hope you do pay attention to the surroundings. And I just hope that tomorrow is going to be better.